Hello, thank you for being in a new video of this channel. Xiaomi has globally introduced its little Xiaomi 14, the little brother of the whole Xiaomi 14 series, unless later they introduce the Xiaomi 14 Lite, or later they introduce the Xiaomi 14 Lite 5G Pro A or something like that. Join me to give you a look at this small but powerful device. The design is perhaps an attractive point because to date there are very few compact devices on the market. Most cell phones are huge, but this one tries to have a pretty good balance between a large screen and a small device. Its frames are metallic, very shiny, with sturdy aluminum and completely straight edges, very reminiscent of what the iPhone has offered in many models. It has a weight of only offered the iPhone in many models, which for the range is somewhat remarkable. Also, it does have IP68, which is becoming more and more common in Xiaomi devices, and that's excellent news. The aesthetics are very similar to the last generation, with a glass top and a square proportion camera module with rounded corners. The bezels are very small, though not entirely symmetrical. Top and sides measure 1.61 millimeters, while the bottom bezel measures 1.71 millimeters. The variety of colors is nice. It will be available in white, black, green, and pink, although you know that color availability can also vary depending on different regions. The display is of excellent quality. Its size is 6.36 inches and it offers 1.5K resolution, that is 2670 by 1200 pixels. With this gives us a density of 460 pixels per inch and has a maximum peak of 3000 nits, something very remarkable because it is the same OLED technology of TCL's S8 panel used in the Xiaomi 14 Ultra latest generation panel. Its color depth is 12 bits to support a wide color gamut, and its refresh rate can go from 1 to 120 Hz to have good power consumption in conjunction with supreme on-screen fluidity. And despite being so compact, it also includes stereo sound with Dolby Atmos, although it does not have a headphone jack like virtually all high-end devices. The front camera is 32 megapixels with f2.0 aperture with fixed focus, while on the back we will have a robust photographic system composed of the main camera of 50 megapixels with f1.6 aperture and optical stabilization. Then you will have an ultra-wide-angle camera also with 50 megapixels and aperture f2.2, and finally the 75mm telephoto camera that is 3x optical zoom with aperture f2.0 and optical stabilization also 50 megapixels. So all three cameras have high-resolution sensors, and also all three cameras have a considerably bright aperture so that the pictures, even in low-light conditions, come out in good quality. In fact, below you are seeing some examples of the photographs captured with this device, although obviously the environment in which we are doing these tests is not the most suitable, but anyway it serves to have more or less a reference. And something interesting is that the telephoto camera lets you focus at a distance of 10 centimeters, giving an excellent quality of macro photographs, very similar to what Huawei offered us with the P60 Pro. So the photography really gets to stand out a lot. The collaboration with Leica is somewhat controversial, since everything seems to indicate that they cannot use the brand in Latin America. Therefore, some functions may vary depending on the regions. For example, there is the Leica Authentic style with which they intend to give the original touch of the photographs of this brand. Similarly, there are several filters created in collaboration with Leica that you could use by moving some parameters, but their availability is not guaranteed worldwide. Regarding video recording, it has support for 8K at 24 frames per second, or you can also record in 4K at 60 frames per second. Fortunately, the front camera also supports recording in 4K at 60 frames per second, so it performs perfectly well as a high-end device. The battery is 4610 milliamps, which is remarkable since we are talking about an extremely compact cell phone. This is thanks to the high-density silicon and carbon technology, and despite being high density, it supports 90 watts fast charging, 50 watts wireless charging, and 10 watts reverse wireless charging, so it comes very complete in everything that has to do with power. It comes with HyperOS based on Android 14, a brand new operating system from Xiaomi that promises to fix the perennial bug issues that Xiaomi has had throughout its history. And it also includes a revamped lock screen that you can customize in a very similar way to the customization you get with an iPhone, among other changes. The base version starts with 8 GB of RAM with 256 GB of storage. And finally, the price of this device in its base unit of 256 GB of storage with 12 GB of RAM is 999 euros. As you realize, it has been announced initially for Europe and now we would have to wait for a subsequent launch in various regions. On screen you saw the reference price in other currencies just to give you an idea, but remember very well that the prices here are not the same as over there. Although there are versions of up to 16 GB of RAM with a terabyte of storage, and something to note is that the RAM is LPDDR5X and the storage UFS 4.0, so we will have very high read and write speeds. And to confirm the high performance, it also includes the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with a tremendous cooling system that promises to be more advanced than traditional vapor chambers. On a hardware level, it looks like an extremely advanced piece of hardware, but we look forward to a full review at a later date so we can test this device in more detail and depth. For now, it has been a brief quick look. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you know you can let us know, and we'll see you next time.